Good morning to my many friends and YouTube subscribers, also to my many enemies. Once again, this is another episode of Roosevelt Sounds Off. This is Roosevelt Sounds Off Part 38, and I'm just making this short video on this morning. It is May 13, 2016, Friday morning, and I'm making this little video, and I'm going to call this my reflections. Basically, what moved me to do this video is that some of you all who know me personally know that I have been here in Minnesota for close to over a month dealing with my father, because my father has to have surgery in Minneapolis on Monday. So please keep him, all of you all who believe in prayer or believe in the one true God, keep him continually in your prayers, because I think as a family we need it. He's doing well, but you know, we are they're going to have the surgery on Monday. And many of you all know my cousin, Reverend Dr Lee Cochran, passed away about close to a month ago. And you know, I reflect upon that. It was very nice looking after her and taking care of her during the time that I did, and I'm glad I was able to do that, and I'm glad that I was faithful to that assignment, just like I am to any kind of assignment that I think that God Almighty would give to me. Okay, and I've been here in Minnesota, and my parents, they stay in a small town about 3 or 4 hours north of Minneapolis called Bemidji. And here in Bemidji, it's really not too many places to go or not too many places to see. I mean, the main things seem like here in town, I think that they do have a movie theater, if I'm not mistaken, maybe. And there's Walmart, and they have a very, very, very small mall. So those are the things that I sometimes do. Like I'm at Walmart now, and I'm about to dig into my breakfast, which is my submarine or Subway sandwich. I'm gonna show y'all the Subway sandwich. See, this is it right here. See, Subway. Yeah, and about to enjoy that. But most of all, I reflect upon the time that even though there's not too much to do here in town, I still reflect upon the fact that I am here with my parents. And I am very, very glad that I was able to enjoy this time with my parents, because my parents are elderly, and it's not like I get a chance to come up here and see them that often, because Bemidji is like 15 hours from Chicago, so I don't get up here too much. So I'm glad that I was able to do that within this time after the passing of my cousin, so I could be able to look after my father and deal with certain things. And I was also glad that I was able to spend this Mother's Day with my mother. My mother is Elizabeth Slaughter, and only thing I could say is great woman. Both my parents and stuff, they taught me and everything, raised me up what I feel is in the right way. Even though I think all of us, whenever we get grown, you know, sometimes we go about and choose our own way of doing things and choose our own path, because sometimes I do feel that we do, all of us have to choose our own path, despite sometimes of what our, you know, parents or families and everything might say. But in the end, only thing I could say is no matter which way I go and which way I ever chose, I can always say that my mother and father were indeed an inspiration, and they gave me a very, very, very good foundation, even a good foundation as to what I'm doing on YouTube now, you know, trying to deal with current events and even do some teaching. They gave me a good foundation of that, so they are one of my inspirations for doing what it is I do, even though sometimes they even disagree with some of my subject matter, just like some of you all might disagree. But I guess that's okay, it's just all a part of life. But I was able to spend my Mother's Day with my mother, and we basically sat in the house and we watched Trinity Broadcasting Network almost all day. And I bought some chicken, about 8 pieces of chicken from Walmart, and I surprised my mother by bringing it home. And you know, we made some sides and everything together, and that we had dinner. And my brother, he even came up and he cooked my mother and cooked all of us breakfast. And that evening and stuff, we had the chicken along with some sides. And I would have to say that it was indeed a nice and joyous time to spend with my parents here in Minnesota. So that is basically what is going on with me. And those are some of the reflections that I have of my parents and even of my cousin who passed away, Reverend Dr Lee Cochran. Wonderful woman, who was called into ministry some years ago, went to Chicago Theological Seminary, and then came on to get her doctorate of divinity, doctorate in ministry. And she was one of the ministers on the staff of Trinity United Church of Christ. And, she was the liaison for the choir, liaison for their security team. And I would have to say she was a good praying type of a woman. And I think with my cousin, it's like no matter whatever it is that you did, even if it was something that was wrong or any kind of a disagreement she could have had with you or you with her, she always had a way of forgiving and always made you feel like you were restored after you got through talking, with her. And the only thing I would have to say is something for my life is sometimes I wish I could learn to be much more like she was, because for many of y'all who do know me personally knows that, I might not have a problem with a whole lot of things, but I feel there's something I do have a problem with sometimes is letting go, and sometimes a problem in forgiveness. And I would have to say that she taught me how to, show grace to people, just like Jesus shows grace to all of us every single day. And I just hope to incorporate that more into my life if I can as I get older, how to restore people. And no matter what it is or something, that they do, make them feel better and make them feel like they are forgiven and make them feel like they are restored whenever they leave my presence. And not to completely try to destroy a person and make a person feel bad no matter how bad something that it was that ever they did. So, that was some of the traits about her. And these are some of the things I say even about my parents, that it was good to be here in their town. I look forward to coming home next week, coming back to Chicago. And I do plan on trying to come back up here this summer because, sometimes we just never know, when our time is. And the only thing I can encourage some of you all out here to do is if you have anybody who's older in your family or just have any kind of loved ones or anything in your family, talk to them and get close to them and just try to tell them every single day that you love them. Because one thing about it is I'm beginning to learn as I get older and as my parents get older is that I'm not going to be here always, and definitely my parents are not going to be here always. And try to get closer to each other and just try to love each other. Try to stick together. Try to see each other. And so I'm definitely going to try to get back up here because my father might have to have another surgery around June or July. So I'm definitely am going to try to get back up here and spend more time with my parents. So I just had to make that little short video. For many of y'all out there, something, make sure you like and subscribe. And hopefully I will see you all very soon for another episode of Roosevelt Sounds Off. And I do want to continue on in my series the next time we all do get together of Stupid Traditions. But right now, I was just moved to give some reflections on how I am feeling. So right this second, I'm about to cut off this phone and dig right into my Subway sandwich. Yeah. And hopefully I will see you all very soon. Might even see you all when I'm back in Chicago. Hope to see you all soon. I thank you everybody for their time of listening. Thank you for your loyalty. I thank you forever. Love you forever. This is Roosevelt. Peace.